Hey guys, thank you for stopping by to watch another one of my YouTube videos. This one is a tutorial and the end result is really pretty, so hopefully you enjoy painting this one. If you have any questions about the materials that I use or any feedback on my video, please make sure to leave a comment. And if you'd like to check out my other artwork, you can find me on Facebook at A Bruce Art. Thanks. All right, so we are going to start on our background. And I'm going to use paper towels to kind of get the texture on the background paint, and then I'm using an ultramarine blue. This blue is like brilliant. It's beautiful. When it dries, it has like this kind of glowing feature, and I'm going to mix that with just our regular blue paint. Excuse me. I'm going to just put it right on the canvas, no particular order, and then we'll be taking our regular blue and mixing that in as well. Now we're going to take a paper towel, and this is where we're going to just dab all over. I don't want the paint so mixed that you can't tell the difference in the blues, so we're just going to dab it. This background is one of the ones that after we get all the paint on here, we are going to add water to the background. It just makes the texture of it uneven and amazing. I always do that outside, so we're gonna move this outside. Part of the reason why I do it outside, as you can imagine, it is incredibly messy, and if you do it in the house, you're gonna ruin your carpet. If you do it in the garage, you're gonna ruin the garage floor. So we take it outside on a blanket, and we'll do that in just a second. All right, guys, so we've got our painting outside. We've got a bowl of water, and we're just gonna drizzle that water onto the canvas. And then we're gonna use our hand to smear it around a little bit. I probably should have taken my rings off. I do this all the time, and then I have paint stuck in my ring. Now this painting is going to take a long time to dry because we just added a ton of water to it, so I leave it outside until it's mostly dry, and then I'll bring it inside. Alright guys, the background is finally dry. It took a very long time. And on this painting, you don't have to put the water on the background. If you want the background to just be just the blue paint without the water, mixing it and making the texture different, you can leave it as it was before we added the water. So down at the bottom of the painting, we're gonna do a little strip of really dark blue. What I did was mix the two blues that we had here and mixed it with a little bit of black, and it just makes a really dark grayish blue color. And we're gonna stream this along the bottom here, and this is gonna be our water for this painting. And this, we do not want a straight line. We want this flowing like water. We don't, water doesn't always just sit flat, so we want it like that, easy enough. And then the next part of this painting is we are going to make a moon. I like to have a really big moon for this painting, just because it looks beautiful, and I can never just freehand a circle. It is impossible for me. If you're able to do it, that's amazing. If not, you can use something to trace so that you have the circle that you want. And what we're going to do is we are not going to complete the circle though. We want the moon almost like a 3/4 moon. So we are going to start here, go around, and we're going to bring it up kind of high, but we're not going to finish it out. And then we'll move our circle that we used to trace. And here we're going to start filling in the moon with paint, and we're going to fill it from the side that's full and work it out towards the outside. On this moon, you can make it as complete as you want. I like having my moon not complete. I think it looks really cool, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. And I use my fingers a lot to paint just because I like the, again, the texture that it leaves instead of paint strokes. So I'm going to use my fingers, add a little bit of paint in here. And to make this moon complete but not complete, we're going to just spread the white paint out a little bit so that it's not filling all the way, but it's also giving the illusion of the moon that we want. And the blue's going to come through a little bit, so you'll have to add some more paint into your moon. So I make it a little bit thicker. And then to get the moon to have the texture that I want it to, and the coloring that I want it to, I will either add silver to my moon, or I will add like a cream color. And just depends on your preference. With this painting, because it is blue and white, and then we're gonna have a pirate ship in the center here, I think silver would look the best. So I'm gonna take my silver paint, and we're just gonna take it straight from the paint bottle. We're not even gonna put it on a paint plate, and we're just gonna squeeze a little bit of silver in some areas on here. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. And we're just very lightly going to dab it into the white paint on the moon. And if you feel like you added too much silver, you can always add more white on top of it to blend it in a little bit more. But we want to make it appear that the moon is uneven. All right, we're going to let this dry a little bit, and then we will work on our pirate ship in the middle. All right, guys, we are going to just really quickly take a little bit of white paint and some water, so the white is really runny and light, and we are going to just drag it across here so that it looks like the reflection of our moon in the water. And this, again, does not need to be perfect. We just want a little bit there. And then we're gonna let that dry for a minute, and then we'll work on our ship. All right, our water is dry enough, so now we are going to work on our pirate ship. And we're gonna take kind of a thinner brush, and we are going to build the bottom of the ship. We're not gonna make a huge pirate ship, we just want something little. All right, we're gonna fill this in with black. Probably go a little faster if I used a bigger brush, but I already committed to this one, so I'm sticking with it. All right, now that we've got the bottom part of our pirate ship, we are going to, from the very middle of our ship, we're going to paint as straight a line as we possibly can up. We can trace it back down. And then we are going to just create our sails and some, what I imagine a pirate ship looks like, which has a lot of strings and a lot of boards and a lot of everything else. This, if you want it to be like precise, you can look it up online and look at a picture and see if, see if you can find a ship and have the sails and the whatever else is on a pirate ship line up with what it actually looks like, but I just kind of wing it. So I'm going to draw a straight line there, and then another smaller line here, and a smaller one just above that, and then a couple long ones. Oops. And then at the very top of my pirate ship, I'm going to paint my flag. All right, so on these sails, we are going to just make it look like it has a folded up, hanging down piece of cloth there. And we want this to look ragged. We do not want this absolutely perfect. That's what makes this painting so fun. This one's gonna be a little bit bigger. I kind of messed up on that straight line though, so I need to fix that. Okay, we'll do a couple more here. We don't have to have a ton of detail, but we want enough that it looks cool. All right, now that we've got all of those painted, we're gonna take a skinnier brush and we're gonna just paint some, what would be ropes that are hanging from the ship. And again, if you want this to be perfect and in line with what a ship actually looks like, you can always look it up online and paint them exact. Or you can just paint it how you imagine it would look. That works too, and then it's very unique. No one else has one like you. That's gonna do it for my ship. And we're gonna let this dry a little bit, and then we're gonna add just some white accents to the cloth here to make it look like the moon is reflecting in there. And then we'll add our little pirate ship flag, or pirate skull and crossbones on the flag at the top there. We're just making sure that we get all this black filled in nicely. All right, now we are going to set this in front of the fan for a bit. Okay, it's time to add our finishing touches. So we are going to start with adding these skull and crossbones on the flag at the very top. Now we don't want white paint for this because it's dark, it's nighttime in our painting. So we're going to do gray. I have a darker gray color for the skull and crossbones, and then we can add some white accents to it if we want. And I'm using a skinny brush for this, and we're going to start with just doing the shape of the skull. And this doesn't have to be perfect, it's on a flag, so it wouldn't look perfect anyways. And then crossbones. All right, and then we're gonna take the black and we're gonna put that where the skull's eyes would be. Ooh, I was a little off on that one. Even that out. And you can, kind of messed up on mine, so we can trim it down a little bit if we need to by just taking black paint and painting it around it. Make it look a little bit better. All right, now the next part, we are going to use our finger, and we're just gonna dab a tiny bit of white paint on our finger, dab most of it off so it's very light, and we are just gonna smudge the sails on here so they have a little bit of white on them, but not much. And you can do it again, tiny bit of paint. Get it on the side too, and then we're also going to do it on the bottom part of the ship. We just want a little bit, look like the moonlight is bouncing off of it. And then I'm going to take my really skinny brush and I'm going to add just a little bit of white lines on here, on the top of the flag. Oops, that was a little thick. And anywhere that you've found yourself adding a little bit too much, you can just paint over it with black to hide that. And there we have our pirate ship sailing on a beautiful, beautiful night. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends and family. Thanks.